something off and just be surprised. And so I picked off this wine that I received from Camus Vineyards. It is the Conundrum 2011 red wine. And what I think is really funny, because I was reading over some of the notes, and it's there's a few grapes in here, so there's not just one, but they decided that they're not going to tell us, so it's a surprise. And since I'm not that great yet to be able to tell you what specific grapes are in there, we'll just wing it like we always do. So if anybody's ever tasted the Conundrum Red 2011, maybe specifically, if you know what grapes are in there by your tasting abilities and things, please reply, post on Facebook or on my blog. I'd like to know what you think. So let's just go ahead and get started. This particular wine, so Camus Vineyard has two winemakers. This one is by Charlie Wagner II, named after his grandfather, who was a co-owner of Camus Vineyards. And he was just infatuated by his grandfather growing up, so he decided to make wine. Since he was in that industry at a very young age, that usually happens to kiddos and they become winemakers. So he's the 5th generation of this particular Wagner wines. So good for him. I'm excited. And so I am excited to go ahead and try this wine. This wine is uber dark. Like I don't even, garnet is the good color. It's almost black, which is kind of cool. And it is super jammy on the nose. Oh, it's got a little spice, little pepper maybe. Black cherries, blackberry-ish, juicy, luscious, yummy goodness. I smell a little vanilla on there. It just smells like a big old jar of homemade jam. Oh, like warm, like a blackberry pie kind of warm. Let's go ahead and taste it. Okay, one more time. Huge, super huge fruits on the tip of the tongue and through the whole palate. This wine is like super thick. I want to call it chewy. You may call it meaty. I don't know what else you would call it. But if you could eat it, you would. It is that intense of bigness. And oh my gosh, this is amazing. That fruit that is on, it's like biting into the juiciest, biggest blackberry or cherry that you possibly could. It is uber yummy. This is like a warm blanket in front of a fire on the couch, watching your favorite show on TV, or just hanging out. This wine is big, but it's creamy and soft and smooth and all that in one. So this would go really, really well with you know, I would think a steak. You could pair this with pretty much anything you want to, but steak or a hamburger or, you know, it just would complement it because it's so big. And I almost want to say rich, but oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is my kind of wine. You know, and it's like you get a little dryness at the end, but it doesn't take over anything. There's really no tannins in this wine at all. Just a little bit of dryness in the end, but it just coats and then finishes. So this is a super yummy wine. And you know, and it has a little bit of sweetness on it. And I think it's just the sweetness because of it being so jammy. But it's not overly sweet, so don't think of it like a sweet red wine. It just has a hint, and it's because of the fruits and things that you get from this wine. So I recommend this wine. On my site, winywomen.com, go there. I will put a link onto the site so you can find out how you can get this. This bottle retails for $22. definitely worth that price. This is a great wine, and I'm so excited. So thank you, Lacey with Camus Vineyards, for sending this to me. I so appreciate that. If you have any other yummy ones you want to send on so I can sample them, I would so love that, because this was an amazing. I cannot wait to taste the white. But until then, you guys have a good afternoon, and I will see you. Cheers.